Hello and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I am your host, Mystery Red, and this is a trigger warning. This story covers material that may be upsetting to some viewer and readers. This is my disclaimer. This beta read and conquered is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. Today we are looking at a memoir for No-Ant-5039 of their memoir, A Soul Exchange, and we are looking at part 2 of chapter 6. So I literally am doing consecutive reads for Ant right now. I've just finished up consecutive reads for 2 other authors, and I have a sick child and I sent my husband to the doctor with her, and I was in the literally right at the break off of chapter 6 part 1, and I finished my last comment and was getting ready to wrap up my video, and I panicked when they came in the house because I had to leave the door open because my bunny is scampering around and I have to make sure she doesn't chew anything she shouldn't. And so they came in making a whole lot of noise, and I panicked and I hit the stop recording button, which I cannot undo. So once I hit stop recording, then it wraps up the video, and all I can do, I can trim it, but I can't add more to it. And so I had to log my video and start a new one to do the second part. So that's why there's an abrupt no wrap up, no closing, no final, thanks for watching, just flat out stop. So I messed up. Usually I hit the pause button, and I just panicked because I wanted to find out, if she was okay. She's fine. So here we go. We are going to dive right into chapter 6, part 2, and your reputation preceded you. Dealer Derek. You broke the bro code cardinal rule when you hooked up with Evan's girlfriend, Bree. I witnessed his crushed spirit in the aftermath. My tumbler of whiskey formed a condensation ring on the glass table next to his. I couldn't believe my childhood crush was sitting in front of me, recounting how a joyride in a stolen van had spiraled out of control. When that reckless chase landed Evan in a continuation school for troubled teens, the two of you bonded. After graduation, you were thick as thieves for a decade. No wonder your friendship was obliterated in 2015 when his girlfriend, Bree, left him for you and your drugs. As Evan's new love interest, it was easy for me to assume lofty judgments. I wrapped them up in a box: bad, cruel, selfish, a ribbon of betrayal tied with a neat bow on top. Every ping and twist in my gut signaled being with you was deplorable. True, Evan and I were broken up, but semantics and shades of gray don't detract from the deep hurt born out of betrayal. It was a steep step down from my high horse to see how far from the moral mark I strayed when I led you down the hall to my bedroom. Writing this from a sober mind frame, it seems crazy that I sought you out to having never met you. When I couldn't find another source, I remembered Josh from the Quick Stop and that the two of you were acquainted. If he didn't have what I wanted, he would know how to line it up. Josh had been at my house at least an hour. In fact, I almost called it off, but with the idea in my mind, I was like a dog with a bone. Needless to say, I was relieved to see your Chevy pull into the carport. You were shorter than your brother with a goofy, youthful smile. I was surprised by how stunning your new girlfriend was. Remembering Elle, I see those glamorous long eyelashes surrounded by thick black liner, like a sad blonde Cleopatra. My lease was up at the end of the month, so furniture was sparse. You and Elle sat on the black leather couch. Josh filled the blue armchair with his elbows on his knees. Picking at the wax of a basil-scented candle, I sat at the coffee table on the floor across from you. You held the lighter steady, and I took a deep drag of the sweet stimulation, my thumb slipping off the carb as I inhaled. Letting go of my worries in the same breath that invited the rush of bliss, my eyes cut the whiskey buzz, seeing and processing with heightened precision. That moment, in an aura of smoke, I relaxed deeper into the carpet, my mind refreshing and limitless. The sensation is like a levee breaking, floodwaters surging over a dry, desolate landscape, an overwhelming reprieve from the monotony drowning my pleasure receptors in a fleeting rush. I'd taken out $60 from the ATM earlier, which was more than enough in cash. There was a soul tax added on top, and I impulsively depleted my moral bank account to settle up. I love this line. Love it. Severing with reality, Josh mumbled to someone unseen, his words weaving in and out of coherency. I was too confused to panic, peering under the brim of your ball cap expectantly. Severing with reality, Josh mumbled to someone unseen, his words weaving in and out of coherency. I was too confused to panic, peering under the brim of your ball cap expectantly. The laugh that bubbled out of you, strange and misplaced, sent a current of trepidation through my haze. Elle rolled her eyes, her indifference somehow more unsettling than Josh's psychotic murmurs. "This is normal," you said, dismissing the creeping wrongness with a casual wave, steering the conversation back to where it left off. My mind struggled to latch on to something solid. I was too deep in bliss to fully process the strangeness of it all. You shuffled the deck of "What do you mean" cards while I poured another round of drinks. Full of energy, you and I clicked like old friends. It was good for the synthetic sense of connection. By the time you and Elle left off to your next nocturnal adventure, it was well after 1 o'clock. I had work at 8:30, but that was the last of what I'd have to pay for I had to work at 8:30, but that was the least of what I'd have to pay for after giving up pieces of my soul. Believe it or not, I made it to my shift and worked all day. I didn't know what else to do. On my way home, I splurged on a bottle of Basil Hayden, charging it to my credit card as if I could afford it. Unhinged, I called you a few days later to take you up on your offer to help with the packing. I said I needed you to reach some things above my fridge, which we both knew was an excuse to elevate our plane of consciousness. What I really wanted was an escape. I watched as the white vapor curled and unfurled, expanding like a living thing. The smoke filled the clear glass of your pipe. The sight held me captive until I inhaled, letting the magic vanish deep into my lungs, taking my thoughts with it. Each wisp followed a steady path like it was obeying some unseen natural order, methodical in its climb. There was a hypnotic stillness to the way it drifted, a quiet invitation to lose oneself in the moment, meditative and serene. From the confusion and chaos that defined my existence, I'd wake up with a raw throat, the woody taste of smoke clinging to my tongue. My phone blinked with fragments of forgotten messages, each one a clue in the puzzle. I spent the first few minutes of every day piecing together the who, what, and where of the night before, a relentless cycle of sabotage and shame. The fact I still had a job to report to was a miracle. And then there was Evan. Okay, I'm pausing. I'm wondering if... Okay, first, my child is being extremely loud. I'm going to go speak with her. And then I'm wondering if... This is a really long paragraph, and I'm wondering if we should break it up, because then we're switching to Evan here. So I kind of am inclined to hit an enter right there and omit the and. Oh, my goodness. And then... I don't like that it draws through the entire word. It seems silly. Oh, all right. Maybe I can just... Okay. Then there was Evan and all the other guys. When a text came through, I would print screen it and send myself the photo. Oh my goodness. You've got to be kidding. Okay. That child is protesting her schoolwork through loud wails of protest. She doesn't feel good, so that probably does not help. Okay, let's see. All right. Then there was Evan and all the other guys. When a text came through, I would print screen it and send myself the photo as an email before deleting the words just in case anyone looked through my phone. From this juggling act, my arms were sore and heavy. With up to my lips, the chaos faded, replaced by the simplicity of this ritual. Everything felt organized, controlled. I could relax, think with fiery clarity, and laugh, even if only for a little while. Now I was relaxed, intensely focused, and goofing around, laughing with you, Derek. Okay. You suspected Elle was sleeping with someone else. I had dated your former best friend for over 2 years. He and I ended things months ago, but on occasion I would still call on him. You know the comfort of a former lover and that inability to give it up. More twisted than a lightning bolt that strikes the same spot twice, you drove what happened next with an unblinking certainty. And what kind of person did that make me? You and I took another, stepping further away from the kind of person I thought I was, into this version of me I didn't recognize. I pulled my shirt off over my head. I'll just say shirt over my head. It kind of implies the same thing. Like the high, it didn't last long. After I asked you if you wanted to jump in the shower, standing at the foot of my bed, you fumbled through your pockets to pull out your cell. Scanning texts from Elle, I watched in amusement as you hopped into your jeans one leg at a time, hurriedly buckling your belt. Okay, so throughout my reads, I'm going to notice that I'm just going to go ahead and point out adverbs, and I've not been pointing them out to you I don't think in any of my reads today, and kind of letting them go if they're working for you, contemplating whether or not they are as shunned in a memoir as they are in a piece of fiction. And I don't know the answer to that. I wouldn't be excessive with them. I've not been pointing them out to you. So if at this point, I guess I've noticed several, and so it's bothering me that I haven't said anything, and I don't want to harp on it. So I'm just going to point out you may want to screen for adverbs specifically in one of your revision passes, like when you're doing like maybe a haul or I don't know if you do multiple passes over the same chapter, because I will do multiple passes over a chapter, and then I'll do multiple passes over the actual manuscript, screening for specific things, and I'll look at just those things. But you may want to give a look through, specifically looking for adverbs. Adverbs are quickly and easily identified. They're not always ly words, but the majority of the time they are ly words, and so that's an easy way to quickly find them if that is something that you are concerned about. Okay. The other thing, scanning text from Elle, I watched in amusement as you hopped into your jeans one leg at a time, hurriedly buckling your belt. I think we're good. Okay. I'm looking to see if I missed anything else. All right, I think we're good. Reflecting now, I'm relieved. I feel like I messed something else up when I read that, and I'm forgetting, I'm not seeing it now. Or maybe I messed up because my brain was telling me at least say something about this popping up. Oh, I know what it is. Watched in amusement. So you don't need that. Just say I watched. There you go. Reflecting now, I'm so relieved you left and I could stand in the steam alone, staring off into the birds and vines printed on my shower curtain. The bathroom had a door sealing off the shower from the sink vanity on the other side. From there was another set of double doors connecting my walk-in closet and bedroom. I had been sure to shut every single one. My mind raced, attempting to rationalize and make sense of everything. What had I done? What had happened in the weeks leading up to this? And in the moment I turned my head when Josh leaned in for that kiss, all of it. The betraying Evan, no amount of soap would wash away the feeling of impurity, like trying to rinse ink from paper. Disheartened, confused, deprived of my former spirit, I stood in the warm water, thankful only that my lease was about up. I've been meaning to ask, when Josh bragged about being with me after you and Elle had left, did he happen to mention I said no? Did you know he forced himself on me right there in the living room on the floor? Right there on the living room floor? Who told Evan? God, I should have known this would get back to him. Is it true he went by Josh's house with a gun? Of course, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. Everything is so messed up. I blocked your number, all of yours, even Evan. I'm finally done. I kind of want you to say I'm done. It's a little bit harder, I think, when you just go, I'm done. I am done. So, okay. Ignore this. I just haven't finished my edits, so don't go down here. Originally, chapter 2 that you didn't read. Okay, we did read that part. Okay, so we're going to stop. This is the end of Chapter 6, Part 2 in the revision. There's a lot more in here. It is a lot more clear. I can follow it. I think this is an improvement. So yes. Yeah, it's very clear what happened and who did what. I followed it without problem. So I know that was our goal. And I am contemplating this. I kind of do like that suggestion, actually. So I'm going to go with it. All right, and that is going to be it for me for Chapter 6, Part 2. And guys, I will see you next time on Mystery Read Reads.